Hi, I'm Emily, and welcome to my West Midlands garden here in the UK. It's the longest day of the year, and as the sun begins to set, I am out enjoying the cool breeze before an ensuing heatwave. This month we've had lots of rain and lots of sunshine, and the plants have responded well to it. Unfortunately, so have the weeds, so any time in the garden is spent deadheading and weeding. The garden is coping well with the heat. However, my mint, which was on this stand, was drying out a lot, even though I was watering them. So now they're out in the open, where they can enjoy any rain that falls, and they seem to be much happier. I'm also trying to keep this hebe hydrated, which I took out of the border at the back of the garden. I plan to move it to the front garden, if I can keep it alive. I've pruned all the flowering stems off my skimmias, and I'm loving their green foliage. The plants in this coolest and shadiest part of the garden are doing well, even those which get no sunlight. But here you can see one of my weed enemies, the meddlesome bindweed. It's been taking over my whole garden this year, so I need to dedicate some time to dealing with it. Arch enemy number 2 is the horsetail, which you'll see absolutely everywhere. It's actually very prolific in the whole neighbourhood, so I've just accepted that I can never eradicate it. The hostas are still snail and slug free and performing well in this little border. This side of the garden is part to full shade. Most of the plants have been moved here from other parts of the garden as they haven't coped well with the sun, so it makes me really happy to see them doing so well. The ajuga has really established itself in the border this year, filling any gaps with its purple leaves. The end part of this border needs a bit more work, but I won't do anything with it for now. But this poor silver birch is really struggling to get going. I've moved it here to give it a bit of protection from the sun. Its roots are very, very minimal. So I'm hoping now in a year or so it would have settled in a bit more. This bit of the garden has had a bit of a change. Because the plants had grown so big, they'd become way too close together. So I've spread them out a bit, having taken out that hebe. The soil is very dry, so I've added some spent compost, and in the autumn I'll continue to put all the fallen leaves around here. I haven't fully decided what to do with the rest of the space, so for now I'm just leaving it as it is. Speaking of things falling, enemy number 3 are the sycamore seeds that fall from this tree. Thank God it didn't produce any last year, but I still spent the year pulling up the sycamore seedlings from 2024. I've been trying to pick up as many seeds as I can, leaving any on the lawn, as I can just mow over these. But again, this is just one of those problems I'll just have to accept. I've got poppies popping up all over the place. The one that has gone over at the back was a large ornamental poppy, and I have this little purple one here. My regersia, which was one I moved from the sunny side, it's much happier here in the shade. It's beginning to flower, but I'm not really fussed about that. It's the foliage, especially in the spring, that I love with its purple highlights. Now all the leaves have turned all green, but it's still nice. I'm just glad the leaves are no longer scorched like they were last year. This back border is just getting on with things. The heucheras fill up most of the space, and the trees I planted are growing well. My poor hawthorn right in the corner is being smothered by that bindweed. And yes, there's lots of weeds around here, but it's a wild part of the garden, so I don't mind too much. A poppy that I actually planted was this one, Patty's Plum. I did have 3, I'm sure, altogether, but I can't see the others. Its petals haven't lasted long, but it put on a good show for a week or so. But I'm going to leave this flowering stem to see if I can collect some seeds for next year. Here's a poppy that was a surprise. I don't know where it came from. It's like nature, realising that this section already had a lot of pink, has produced a pink poppy to complement the plants already here. It's the perfect shade for this rose, the lupins, the cosmos, and the emerging lychnis. I have other poppies appearing as well, so I'm looking forward to seeing what colours they will be. The foxgloves are still holding up. These particular ones featured a lot in the show gardens I saw at Gardeners World Live last week. Once I cut these tall stems down, it will be nice to know that I've still got these lower stems to extend their display. I've started cutting back the verbascum. I had to hold off for a bit because they seemed to be homing a certain caterpillar. All the verbascums in the garden had this caterpillar on them, but I don't see them today. Hopefully it's because they moved on to the next stage and not because they've all been eaten. Around the garden, the anemones are putting on a lot of leaves, ready for an autumn show. My black currant here has lots of fruit. From trialling them every couple of days, I've learnt that when they get really black, that's when they're ready. I've also got lots of red currants. When they're red and soft, you know they're ready. My cherry tree is not doing well. It's lost all its cherries now, and some of its leaves are not looking great. I'll have to do some research to see how I could get this to perform better in the future. My new Rebecca's will be flowering soon, and this hollyhock is putting on some growth. This cucumber is for my little sister, who out of all my siblings is the veg grower. I like my little erysimum. It goes well with the purples in this section. It will hopefully complement any autumn plants, most of which will have similar yellow and orange tones. Now this tall cow parsley was a surprise, especially since I wanted some in my garden. I wouldn't usually allow it to get so tall, but I would like it to self-seed, and I would also like to collect some seeds, so even though it's totally out of place, I'm just going to leave it as it is. Here's my plum tree. I must apologise to the pigeons who I've been blaming for the decimation of all my fruit trees. I've also seen some squirrels munching away at the leaves, so pigeons, you're not wholly to blame. So I do apologise for that. The yellow coreopsis have made their appearance. I bought these a few years ago only because they were a bargain price and I just wanted to fill my garden with plants. I don't actually want such a bright yellow in the garden, and every year I say I need to replace them, but here they still are. I'm such a procrastinator. My hebes have been flowering for about a week. I'm more of a foliage person, but these flowers are nice to look at, especially close up. Just a few weeks ago, this Deutsche was full of beautiful white flowers and it was such a bee magnet. But now they've gone over and it will soon be ready for a prune. My little patch here has some gooseberries, got some blueberries. My pear tree, though it has no pears, is still alive and well. Got a few roses starting to flower and some annuals. And the herbs seem to be happy too. I hadn't even noticed how much growth this buddleia has put on over this past week, and it's just about to flower, hopefully in time for the hot weather when more butterflies might be out. And this little section here is doing okay. My kumquat leaf looks a little yellow. It's only flowered once and has yet to produce fruit, so I don't know how to get it to do that. Again, that's something to learn about. And that's it. It's actually quite dark now. My phone has done a good job of making everything seem brighter, but the sun has set, the moon is out, and the solar lights are beginning to turn on. So, as darkness falls and the air becomes refreshingly cool, I will say goodbye. I'll probably stay out a bit longer just to enjoy the night freshness, but in the meantime, I hope you've enjoyed this update. God bless, and God willing, I'll be back in July, the month where my garden usually struggles the most, but we will see in the next video. Take care, and thank you for watching.